What's going on YouTube and y'all squad? This is your boy Yagratis. This is your review. Oh, wait, hold on. Wait. Let me change venues. There we go. This is your review for the Real Housewives of Potomac. I believe season seven, episode 7. It'll be correct in the title. Before we get into it, I want to start off with the redux. So rather than doing a whole separate video of things that I've missed, just bring it up at the beginning of this one. So one of my subscribers, I forgot to write their names down, but had made mention of, did you hear when Giselle got into the van and said that Ashley said her Chris had grabbed her friend's behind. Went back, I was like, ooh, okay. And then also, when I was saying that Ashley had grabbed Candace's envelope to see what room she was in, she was actually playing a trick on Candace. So totally missed that part. So my bad. So we pick up where we left off. We have Ashley. I'm done with Ashley. I ain't got nothing else for Ashley. So whatever's going, unless we talking about Dylan, I got nothing else for Ashley. So let's see. What the deuce did I put out? Oh, there's a water pipe in the Green Hot Bandits room, meaning when someone goes to the washroom, that pipe is the sewage pipe, and they hear it every time they flush. Baby, if I knew that, I'll be flushing that toilet so much, and I know that is a waste of water, but I'm just saying, y'all know I am petty. So we have Mia and Jacqueline. So they're having a sibling spat, and here's one thing that I'm going to say. What I'm getting from the two of them, I really don't like it. I really don't. Even if the way, if what they're giving us is how they were, because they're no longer friends, I still don't like it because certain things come off as being very treacherous, some jealousy and whatnot. And here's why I say that. So you have Jacqueline asking me if she has some spray on deodorant. Apparently, she didn't ask for that. She didn't ask for a tampon. She didn't ask for a toothbrush, this, that. And Mia's whole thing is, well, you can go to CVS and is literally being nasty with her and then blast her by saying, you also use G Razor that he used to, shave his, nether regions. And it's, why would you say that while the cameras are rolling? Even if that did happen, and look, I get being in the moment, but even if that did happen, you should have enough wherewithal and awareness to be like, ooh, I want to say this, but as cameras there, I don't want to do that to my sister or brother, and I'm doing this, one, because they're no longer, friends anymore, but they're foster siblings siblings. But I'm like, ooh, that is nasty. So Mia tells Charisse, it will be difficult for her to find a good hotel because Charisse is still, tossing that around. Okay, cool, whatever. Um, who? I put some. Oh, whatever. Karen. Oh, I'm sorry. Karen and Wendy talk. There it is. I don't know. It looked like Kevin. I'm sorry. Karen and Wendy talk. Karen says she and Charisse talked at her spring fling. This is what Karen is saying, and she said they talked about. No, I'm sorry. She said that they could talk about whatever the problems are, but just not at that time. Karen, that's not what you said. Maybe that's what you wanted to say. Maybe that's what you meant, but that is not what you said. But okay. I can give you a pass because look, your boy is getting older now. I don't be sitting here lying, but I be forgetting stuff like in the moment. I done got to the age where I walk into the kitchen because I'm about to go in there and get something, or I walk into a room and forget why I walked into the room. So I'm gonna get her a slight pass. She doesn't know why Charisse wants to talk about things because for her it's not that serious. Now outside, Mia tells Stewie and Tristan about Jacqueline needing everything. And again, my thing is, why? It's one thing that you just did this on camera in the privacy of your room. Why are you going outside to these two knuckleheads and telling them anything? Like, it's like you're trying to plant a seed. It's almost like she's jealous of Jacqueline and feels that Jacqueline may come in and take her spot. So let me sit here and throw some stuff out there to make people think that she's not cool or something like that. She shares that Peter has beef with Wendy again. Why? Tree Stump says Peter told her Wendy did research on him to see what they had in common so they can go into business together. They can come off as being shady, but that is what you do. It's no different. I mean, granted, it's not the same thing, but it's like somebody going in for a job interview. Well, if you're going in for a job interview, you want to research the company because you want to show them that there is an interest. So if you want to go into business with someone, you want to see what they're doing, and if what you want and what they're doing, if there's a common ground. So whatever. Mia, Jacqueline, Karen, and Wendy are in one car. Mia is being very dismissive and nasty towards Jacqueline. Don't like it. Mia says, she likes Cherise, but then goes on to talk about, Cherise not liking her accommodations, saying she's being very dramatic. And based off of this, she can see why Karen has an issue with her, which I'm like, the two don't quite, I don't know, but she says she can see it. Okay, whatever. And she says she's now on Karen's side. Now, Mia is saying this. Wendy is in the back seat. These two don't really see it for each other. Again, that situational awareness, being aware of your surroundings and who you're around. Like, okay, that's gonna come back up very, very soon. And the other man, you got Cherise, Robin, Giselle, and Ashley. They talk about pooping farting in front of their respective peoples. Robin says she still walks around naked in front of her children. Now, all I'ma say is for me, okay, and maybe I'm a bit of a prude. There does come a certain point where child and parent need not be seeing each other unless one is in a state to where the other one has to see them. Like, I'm currently my mother's husband's caregiver. So, unfortunately, yes, I have to see him a certain way because I have to bathe him. That is it. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be called dead. And unless something happens to where I have to do that for my mother, fine. But if we don't get to that point, no, absolutely not. I'm just saying, I don't feel that's appropriate. But to each his own. Ashley shares that her mother did that with her brother and still does it. That left a lot to be desired, but I didn't want to go down there. I'm like, okay, we gonna leave, the living troll to do whatever she does. I ain't even got to do with Miss Sheila. So now we're at Peter's restaurant. Okay, I think I did good because everything happened there. Candace Plains lands at 10 p.m., so she's more than likely going to miss all of this. And she hasn't been in this episode, so, probably didn't get paid for it. But it's okay. It's okay. It's good she wasn't there because she got blamed for what happened at the end, and she wasn't even there. And that is a lot of the talking points, okay? And if I didn't already say it, make sure y'all come back tonight at 9:15 Eastern, 8:15 Central. Here in the Citadel, we will be discussing this show. The Whether You Like It or Not panel, we will be talking about this, and it's gonna be a hoot, okay? It's gonna be a hoot. Make sure y'all come back. Also, if y'all want to see me in my more goofy, tra-la-la self, I am doing a Pokemon Violet dog playthrough on the channel currently. So you get to see a different part of me than what you normally get with the reviews. Back to this. So, see, I done lost my track. Hold on. So the girls, they start talking about the issues between Candace and Ashley. Ashley don't want to own nothing. And then she asked if anybody said, something about her saying that Chris touched her friend's behind. And Gizzard says it was said, and that's what she thought she heard. And so here you go, messing up stuff and literally lying. Okay, it's one thing, and you know what? I'm not even finna do this. Okay, I'm not finna do this with Neck. I'm not. Anyway, so Ankles brings up Charisse and Karen speaking, saying how good it was and all this other stuff, and is really trying to push the issue and whatnot. Sharice brings up Karen saying her actions weren't coming from. I'm sorry, her actions were coming from a bad place, and she pretty much says that Wendy told her. Now, Wendy more or less posed it as a question. You know, like if Karen might have felt that what Sharice was displaying was coming from a bad place. Never did she say that. And Wendy tells her she's deflecting. She doesn't have this same energy for Karen, so why are you coming at me? Are you scared of her? I'm like, oh, okay. So then Mia's like, Wendy, Wendy, Wendy. And I'm kind of sitting back like, this ain't got nothing to do with you. But okay, I guess you trying to stick up for Sharice. Cool. But why she do that? Because Wendy replies and says, Mia, you just sat in the car and was saying how you agree with Karen about what's going on between Karen and Sharice. And Mia, attempts to clarify what she meant. Then you got Doobie Wig over there saying, yeah, don't let someone twist your words. And this whole entire time, the commentary that she is giving, it is very insulting to me. And it's literally one of those where she's adding fuel to the fire. And to me, it seemed like she was trying to bait Wendy. Wendy ain't saying nothing to her. Like, my whole thing is, I may not mess with people. Like, it's a lot of mugs I don't fuck with, Now, unless you say or do something towards me, that's the only way that I'm going to say anything remotely in your direction, unless I'm just on one that day, and sometimes it happens. But it ain't all the time. I ain't got nothing to say. I'm going to just sit there and I'm going to just, look as handsome as I do. Ain't got nothing to say. Even if other stuff is going on, nothing to say. Now, again, they're shooting the show, so yes, she needs to contribute something. But it's like, Robin, Doobie Wig. Okay, linebacker shoulders. Just sit there. Shoulder pads. Just sit there and eat your damn food. Anyway, Karen says to Wendy, you invited me to lunch. And then there was nothing. So you said, hey, we should do lunch. Nothing came after that. And I get where Karen is coming from. Like, you said this is what you want to do. Cool. Nothing came after it. So I'm like, again, where we at right now, I'm cool. I'm good, And Sharice says she asked her to lunch to see what the problem is. And Karen says, she has evolved. The past is the past. And you have Sharice constantly trying to have a moment. And Karen is like, I move forward. In essence, you ain't getting the moment off me. Now, Karen, at some point, you gonna give her the moment. I can't wait to see exactly what comes of it. Baby, when I tell you, Karen says a prayer over the food, because this is her way of just like, I'm not even doing this with you. Says a prayer over the food, and then starts to get happy birthday to herself. Now, look, I don't go on for Karen, but I was over here cracking up just like, that is how you do it, Karen. That's how you do it. And that was pure shame. So Peter comes out, he's greeting the table, all this other stuff. I believe, I didn't feel like going back to rewind because I was taking a lot of notes, so I don't think it was that important. But I believe he said to Wendy, you didn't call, and I think she said, check your text messages, something like that. Ashley then questions Mia about Peter because she'd already told, Stewie, Darby, and them that Peter got beef. So Stewie, phone screen, because y'all know Ashley forehead. Oh, well, Ashley, okay, well, yeah, my whole phone. Her forehead this dang on big, so she just like, well, what it do? Because again, some of them like to play producer to kind of help push the scene along. So Mia and Sharice get up to go talk to Peter, I guess Mia's little explanation was enough for Sharice, but I think Sharice let it go because her only avenues onto the show at this point is Mia and Robin. So if these are the only ones, because the other women minus Karen will shoot with her, those are the two that are putting her in scenes. So she kind of sort of has to, be cool with them. But they go over there and ask Peter what the beef is. Now Peter says he sent her paperwork and she ain't sent him nothing back. Okay. Because my thing is, I'm still trying to figure out, why are you getting other women involved in this when you could have just called Wendy directly if this was something business related. Nevertheless, Cherise says she wants to talk to him about doing a champagne lounge, whatever. And then Mia, shades Wendy by telling Peter, "Oh well, Cherise check will clear." Okay. So Peter says he felt slighted because Wendy showed up in his city. Okay, showed up so pretty much showed up in my city and whatnot. Did not hit me up. I can see how people can be upset, but I'm only gonna be upset if that's somebody that I'm close to, and then you just showed up. But whatever. So at the table, Ashley mentions, things are, good with her and Mia because, it was a little bit difficult because, she can be difficult. Now, this is when I had to side eye Jacqueline because Jacqueline says that, she told Mia that, you can't come off a certain way. You can't be difficult and you got to change that. And, we grew up together, so we're cool. But if I were to try to be friends with her in present day without knowing her, I probably wouldn't. Though that may be true, you don't have a good enough relationship with these women to where you are sharing them. Now, again, I believe both Jacqueline and Mia are foul in how they're talking about each other to these women, but it's like, and it wasn't bad, but it's like, you never give somebody ammunition because you don't know who is and who ain't your enemy. Anyway, where was I? So Tree Stump asked Chicken Patty about her convo with Peter. And Mia brings up, her FaceTime with Peter and said, well, he said he has beef with you and points to Wendy. The girls want to know what the beef is. Wendy says she doesn't beef with a man. Now, my whole thing, now, again, I know we're shooting a show. I know you have to get your storyline wherever you can get it. And the fact that you, Wendy, are no longer trying to do business with Peter, this is where your storyline is going to come from. That is fine. I want to stop here and I want to say this. Everybody finna get some. And though I am going to be on Wendy's side, I'm not going to be by the end of this. And I hope y'all understand me when we get there. But back to this. So Mia tells her that that's my family. Don't start it. So she considers Peter to be family because I think they've known each other for roughly 10 years, something like that. And says, don't start. And again, for me, if this is something business related, I don't care what somebody told you, because if you come over here, and again, I know sometimes we have blind loyalty sometimes where somebody tell you something and you just run with it. If you not coming over here to be like, look, so-and-so said this, I want to know your stance. If you start coming to me on that rah-rah, this going to be me. Can I get a refill, please? It's going to be all of that. I ain't got nothing to give you. And the thing is, I don't, and look, I've had to really not necessarily learn this, but own this mantra. I don't owe anyone an explanation. Period. That's it. I owe no explanations. So when I was a little disappointed that Wendy decided to, give in. So Wendy shares with the interviewer that Peter sent her a draft of the red line. Wendy texts back asking if they will be able to, visit the site. He replies that he will see. So he's mad because I'm trying to figure out, are you mad because she ain't sent you the paperwork back, or are you mad because she didn't contact you because she was in town? Because if it's over the paperwork, well, based on the text message that we saw, all you said is you will see, and you haven't replied back to her, so I'm not understanding. Mia says that he is giving her an opportunity to learn and to be a mentee. Again, certain stuff I would have just stopped talking and just would have let you sit. You just been looking stupid. And then she says she should have told him she was coming into town. And I want to stop here also. I love how people love, and I'm talking about the women on the show, love to pick and choose where stuff went wrong, because nobody once said that Mia should have never brought up an issue between Wendy and Peter. That issue should have stayed between them. She had no reason to own it and come to Wendy with it. Nevertheless, Wendy said to her, The only person I'm gonna let know I'm coming into town is my husband. That's it. That's all. Robin says under her breath is business. Now, what I find to be funny is, again, optics. So it's okay that Wendy should be sitting here calling a man, and she's married, hey, I'm coming into town, without the context of this is because it's business. But y'all got a problem with Chris. See, some of y'all don't make sense. And I'm saying, like, Robin, shut up. Hey, I'm looking at Robin like, Robin, go get your hair did. How about that? So then Mia says she needs to get out of that mindset. No, she doesn't. And we are in a state to where, one, women never really had rights. And even though they got rights now, they really ain't got much. And women in general, but primarily African-American, ADOS women are very unprotected. Okay? And people kill, I probably shouldn't use that word, people send to glory people that look like them and that are in close proximity to them. Not saying that Peter would do that, but it is the optics. And again, the optics of you have you have Chris and Giselle supposedly in her room with the door closed. Those particular optics, but y'all not understanding this, so she needs to get that mindset. Because if this is business, never mind. I'm giving this too much. Okay. Mia then says she is the only black woman at a boardroom table. Now, Wendy begins to read her resume and tells her that she is a boss, and this is what a boss is. And in this moment, I was like, Wendy, this is when you read your resume. Not when you're arguing with Ashley and say, people like you call me Dr. Wendy. No, because that's lazy. That's lazy because you ain't got nothing. In an instance like this with somebody trying to sit here and check you. See, I'm going to tell y'all something right quick, because even though I have a lot to get through, recently I was at a repast. And one of my cousins decided to make a joke about what I did in the military. And really tried to downplay what I did. Now, I don't talk about what I did, what I've done in the military. Like, that is a part of my life. I'm very proud of it. If you ask me, I'll tell you. Other than that, I don't talk about it because there are certain aspects where it can come off as me sounding braggadocious. But when he literally made a joke talking about the only thing that has flown at me was staplers, I gave him the last 2 years of my 11 years. And I had to let him know, like, sir, let me break it down to you. In addition to being an observer of those that fly the Shadow, which is, I believe, a category / class 3 drone, I believe. It's been a while, so I might have forgotten. And my actual job is that of an air traffic controller. So I'm observing somebody that is in the realm of aviation, but that's not what I do. In addition to that, my part-time job in the military, which was actually my full-time job, was not only did I know how to fly the small drone, which was the Raven. Not only did I know how to do that, I also was the master trainer, so the head person for my team. Not just that, I was the master trainer for all of JMRC, which was the group that I was attached to. Not just that, I was the lead head instructor to teach people how to fly small drones. When people now, mind you, did I know everything about it? No. Was I the subject matter expert? No, I wasn't. I actually had a civilian that was the subject matter expert. But the reality is, when people need a red line brief to go out and fly, in the box, they call me. When people and when I say had questions, I'm not talking about in Germany. I'm talking about in Europe. I had to let him know, like, I was that dude where I was the central person in Europe. What you not finna do is you not finna sit, because what he was trying to do is, because he knows, because he don't know what I've done, but know that I've done enough, is you want to bring me down a few pages. But I had to let him like, because I was that dude, and I will forever be that dude. Don't do me. That's when you do it. When somebody try to play you, that's when you read your resume, not when you ain't got a comeback. But anyway, enough about me. So Wendy tells her that maybe how she and her husband get down, maybe that's how she and her husband get down, but, she's not telling another man that she's coming into town. Now, Mia, at this point, grabs a drink, because it's her, Karen, Wendy. Yeah. She grabs her drinks and flings it. Now, it goes all past Karen, and not all of it hit her, but I guess some of it hit her hair. And Mia tells her to get up from the table because she will not talk about her husband. Honestly, I don't feel that was her talking about her husband. But again, if y'all want to argue that point, that's perfectly fine. Because my whole thing is like, because at some point she did. After that drink was thrown, she did say, "Your husband liked to, mess with men and women." That happened. Now that part happened after the drink was thrown, but before then, I don't believe that was her talking about her husband. But if that's how she felt, whatever. Wendy rises up and asks her what she gonna do if she don't get out. Because Mia was saying get up from the table and get out, and Wendy gets up and does that and gesture toward. Now Mia's being held back. Wendy gestures towards her. This is when I said, Wendy, you done messed up. You sat there and you took that semi-baptism. Cool. Cool. Where you messed up is when you sat here and attempted to match/surpass her energy. That's where you messed up with me. And I'll let y'all know at the very end. Now, in her doing that, Robin under her breath says, Wendy is antagonistic. I sat here like, I know you lying. The same person that then went to Ash, even though we don't like Ashley, but then went to Ashley's establishment and caused a whole scene. This is my finger in your face. That's what she did. Same woman that walked up on Monique where Monique had the umbrella, I guess, trying to like put some space between them, and got up in her face saying to her, go ahead, hit me. Do it. Do it. The same person that stood up on Wendy when she said stand 10 toes down, and that was a figurative. And then Robin, silly self, took it literally and stood up, and not just that, began to advance towards. You can't call nobody antagonist. I mean, you can, but you are the definition of it right now. But again, Wendy, the fact that you got up, you gave her that. At this point, Robin is recording the altercation. Because her whole thing is, we don't need no he said, she said. And the thing is, I truly do believe this is going to come up later. Because again, we are trying to paint narratives and whatnot. And then she says to Wendy while she's recording her, she says to Wendy, don't bait her and you're being antagonistic. But she is saying this to bait Wendy, for Wendy to either go off the handle more, B, come at her, or C, both. Wendy mentions to Robin saying nothing about a drink being thrown at her. Then Robin says, if you want to fight, fight. If not, shh. But here's the thing. If you want to fight, fight. Because not only will I have this on camera, but now when you physically reach out and touch her, I have something to say. And if I didn't put it, did I put it in there? At some point, Mia did gesture to hit Wendy with her purse. I don't know if I already got to, if I forgot to write it down. If so, whatever, I'll double back to it. Wendy asked Mia, did she know? I'm sorry, did she throw a drink because she knows? Did she throw a drink because she's having relations with people? Like, so is this the reason you throwing a drink at me? Because you having relations with him? You mad at me over a man that ain't your husband? You create a face. And I was like, oh, babe, when I tell you that had me in stitches. And when Mia heard that, when I tell you, she turned around and tried to come at Wendy again. Wendy, you should have never stood up. And all of this and all that you doing, you should have never stood up. Mia is, ushered out. Robin says that she is not saying Mia is right for throwing a drink, but Wendy kept antagonizing her. Okay, all right. I think Robin has suffered one too many concussions from all them football games that she's been playing. I don't know what's going on. So Mia returns. Karen tells her it's never okay to throw a drink. Mia says she talked about my husband. You're defending her? Karen says you're not listening to me. Now Gizzard, and again, Gizzard and Karen's relationship is very fake and finicky anyway. But she's pretty much telling her to be a friend to someone, to pick a side. And Karen's just like, I'm being a friend to both of them, but this is one of those where I guess in Karen's mind, both of them share blame, so I'm not going to pick a side, but I'm trying to let them both know, hey, you're. But what Giselle wanted is going back to season 5, how she wanted Karen to pick a side. She wants her to do the same thing here. Wendy lets Mia know that she has. Wait. Oh, she has one more time to put her hand in her face because she let her slide with throwing the drink, and then she attempts to get at Mia again. This is the second time. So Wendy, not only did you try to come at her once before, and I get all of this that's going on, and I want y'all to understand me here. I am not excusing Mia's behavior. I'm not saying that Wendy does not have the right to do this. The reason, and I'm gonna say it now so I don't forget, the reason that I'm being this critical is because season 5, Wendy, not knowing Monique from a can of paint, took a side and was even saying that it should never get to a point where it's physical just because somebody said something, right? But regardless, it should never get physical. But you're trying to get physical with her, and we gave you a pass last season with what happened with, Gizzard sitting here talking about your husband in the cheating rooms and whatnot. We gave you a pass, even though still, had you got up and you knocked her out, we would have sat back and cheered you, but still would have drugged you because now you're being hypocritical because you said something totally different when it came to Monique anyway. Mia says to Jacqueline, when you call Wendy out on her stuff, this is what you get. Hold on, wait, hold on. Wait, hold on, wait. And then Wendy calls her crater face. Mia said, oh, this is what happened. Mia says, you got one more time, and this is when she gestured. So I don't know if she hit her with her purse, but she gestured to hit her with her purse. Mia says she threw the drink because she was talking BS. And okay, and then Wendy says, shut up. I'm done talking to you, whatever. Mia gets up to walk away. Wendy says that Mia whatever. No, I'm sorry. This is when the purse happened. I'm sorry. Mia gets up to walk away. Wendy says that she embarrassed her business with this stunt, and that's when Mia says, when you have one more time, that's when she gestured with the purse. And then she's being restrained, and Wendy yells, look at the CEO, and Robin says quit antagonizing. And my thing is, Robin, can you come up with another word? We got it, but can you expand your vocabulary? Okay, talk to Candace. Wendy says, I use my words. She's violent. Robin stands up and says, everyone, Wendy is the winner because she's always right. And it's like, why are you still trying to have a moment? Because again, everything that is going on, I don't fault Wendy for. I only am upset because why couldn't you have this same amount of understanding with Monique? But anyway, Mia calls her husband to book her a flight. Robin goes to Mia and says she isn't leaving. Chopped Liver joins and tells Mia this is your trip, that she's not leaving. And we all know, again, production paid for this, so it's the optics of this is your trip. Because let's be honest, if this really was her trip, Mia wouldn't be leaving. Mia would have been saying, Wendy, you need to go back to the place, pack up all your stuff, and you have until so-and-so to get out. If not, I'm calling the police and they will escort you out. Nevertheless, so Bae DeVille says she baited you and you gave her what she wanted. Karen asks Wendy, did the husband come after the drink? And that's where the ambiguity comes in, because if we're talking about Wendy just mentioning husband, then no, it came before the drink. If it was a comment about him, messing with both men and women, then yes, that did come after the drink. Ashley tells the table Mia is her girl. But that was unnecessary. And I'm sitting here like, okay, I'm giving you a point here. And as quickly as I gave it to her, I take it back because Wendy had said something at the very end, and then Ashley couldn't understand the parallel. Stovepipes comes back and said, Mia has to figure things out, and, rightfully so. Wendy leaves because she cannot sit with empathizers, but when Monique did it to Candace, she and she meant, and I know she meant them, but she meaning Giselle was so against violence and gets up and leaves. And again, here for all of that. But again, you're mirroring some of those things. All I'm saying is you could have had a little bit of compassion for, and especially with you being new to the situation, you could have had Candace's back while still, being neutral and not giving Monique too much. And at the very end, it says the Johns Hopkins University has no involvement with Real Housewives of Potomac. And I know some people's upset at that. I'm not. You were sitting here saying how you a CEO. You see how you acting? Well, you sit here, you work for them. Do you see how you acting? And again, there should be enough wherewithal and awareness that I'm being recorded and I work for these people, or I'm being recorded and I have this business. I need to try to reel it in ever so slightly. But that's all I got, y'all. Y'all let me know how y'all feel. Make sure y'all back here tonight. Have y'all a drink. Some of y'all might need y'all, a dinner blunt. And we going to talk about, this in full. So with that being said, thank you all so much for watching. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will see you all tonight. Peace out.